What's up, guys? Rick and I'm back here for Holy Moly Outdoors. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is April 19th, and again we are at another episode of the Tank Test Thursday. So thank you so much for joining us here. This is going to be an awesome one because we are talking about the Lake Chelan Kokanee Derby and some lures that I will be running over the weekend. So we're going to cover 4 today, and this is really exciting because I really feel like with Lake Chelan, it is a kokanee playground. You can catch fish on anything there. And so what I'm going to show you guys today is not the only stuff you need to throw, but it's some of the stuff that I have confidence in over the years fishing there that should be productive and will be productive over the course of the weekend. So the biggest key fishing Lake Chelan is you guys got to go find the fish. These schools are going to be spread out all over the place. And generally what you, as a rule of thumb, you're going to find schools of fish, and if you find some, fish about 10 feet below to get the bigger boys and girls in the bunch. So with these lures today, we're going to target these big kokanee, and you never know with Lake Chelan what else you're going to catch, but that's all part of the fun. So today we're diving into a couple different lures that are going to really have some fun on the lake. So before we get started, let's talk about what those lures are. The first one I'm going to be running is something that has a little bit larger profile, a little bit more drawing power. Early in the morning, this thing will absolutely get some big fish. We are talking about the Brad's Kokanee Mini Cup Lug. Now what I have done is taken and done some custom painting work on this that'll really shine early morning. It's got UV, it's got fluorescent and glow. This thing is going to knock them dead first thing in the morning. And what we have, as always, tied on the Eagle Claw laser sharp hooks and a little bit of custom rigging of my own. So the first one is going to be the Mini Kokanee Cup Lug. The second that I'm going to look at is if these fish are running on a specific attraction threshold. So the big Kokanee Cup Lug goes after attracting as its own self. You can put it 36 inches behind a Dodger and you don't really have to do anything else. That thing will work on its own. So another great lure to draw in fish is a spinner of some sort. And one of the ones that's always done well for me and is just really a true staple on my boat, the Rocky Mountain Tackle Assassin Spinner. These are absolutely deadly and have been proven for so long at just being straight fish killers. So I'm always going to be running one of these on one of my rods. Now the beauty of Lake Chelan is a 2-rod permit lake. So my wife and I will be fishing this, and you'll be able to run 4 different setups. That way we can let the fish tell us what they want. So one rod is running that cup plug, one rod is going to be running a spinner here. And then the second type of spinner that I know is not only productive but just has a lot of opportunity to catch any assortment of fish is going to be a wicked lure. Now I don't know if you guys have seen me do a video on how to make this for kokanee, but what we'll do is we'll take this trout killer in the pink and blue, and we are going to add another hook to it and a little bead between the hooks, and right then and there, that's just a simple, easy kokanee killer. You can go the steps that I made in this video right up here to showcase another way to make this into a very effective kokanee lure. Lastly, there's the opportunity for running something that has no action on its own. And this is something that is allowed by the Dodger to create the action. So this could be something more of a simple kind of squid style fly. And this is by Olympic Tackle. And so what I'm going to be running as my other rod is going to be one of these kokanee snacks. This one happens to be more of a UV translucent pattern, which would work great if those fish get really finicky midday. There's also this mini candlefish, which is going to be a great one to use. I already have tied up this one, and you guys have seen these in the test tank before, but I just can't get away from them because they are so effective. So this is what I'm going to be running on another one of my rods, and I cannot wait to see how that fishes. So let's dive into the test tank and show you guys how these rigs work, and then after we're done with that, I'll pair them up with a couple of the Dodgers that I know are going to really be effective. So stay tuned. Alright, first we're looking at the Brad's mini cup plug, and this is the KCP 2.25 Kokanee cup plug. And what's nice about this is you guys can see it has a nice tight little bullet troll spin. We're not going at super fast speeds here in the test tank, but it definitely gets a nice rollover and creates its own barrel roll action. Tipped with your bait of choice, this thing is a great attractor all by itself, and paired behind a Dodger just draws in even more fish. So it's a super effective and deadly on the bigger fish in the lake, and something definitely to always keep in mind to have on a rod. Alright, next we're looking at that Assassin spinner from Rocky Mountain Tackle, and you can see there the contrasting of the beads with that awesome blade design. These spinners are really good at drawing in fish and really making them commit at the distance. So this is something that I would definitely recommend to have as a spinner for your boat. Chelan fish seem to love spinners, and it's just a great rig to have in your arsenal. The Rocky Mountain Tackle Assassin Spinner. Alright, next we're looking at the Wicked Lures. This is a trout killer size that's been modified. You can see that orange bead between the two hooks, which I really feel helps give those fish a striking point to attack. The spinner itself gives off great movement in the water. That blue blade is really a great color for a mid-morning sunny day, or even sometimes early in the morning if those fish are really focusing on a specific color. It just creates a lot of flash and really is a great one to throw out there. So this is the Wicked Lures Trout Killer modified for Kokanee. Alright, and lastly here we got the Olympic Tackle Kokanee snack with a How Deep Tackle carnivore blade on top. This is a great rig if those fish are getting a little more finicky, that you can downsize but still get your attraction out of the blade. It creates a nice little wobble, and the Kokanee snack itself has a lot of UV properties, and those beads shine right through the middle of it, which create just some awesome contrast that those fish will focus on. So really excited to throw this one as well. Olympic Tackle Kokanee snack and a carnivore blade. Alright guys, so now that we've gone through the test tank there, you've seen all the action of those great lures, I want to show you guys a little extra to be able to help you out. So we're going to pair these up with a specific Dodger that'll really help just increase catch and be productive. So the first one we're going to look at is if we're running that Kokanee cup plug. What I've really found, the best style Dodger to run with that is more of a sling blade style. And in my testing at Chelan over the last couple years, the oranges and pinks really dominate on that color spectrum of your Dodgers to do well. Doesn't mean that others don't, but seems those colors excel, and a lot of that could be the overhead sunlight, different things like that playing a factor. But something like this Gull's Custom orange bubble sling blade style in a 5.5 inch is really one of my go-tos for these Kokanee cup plugs. This style really works well because it imparts action. You can bend this to give it a little bit more depth in its swing. Great colors from James, and 36 inches behind I'm running my Kokanee cup plug. So that's usually where I run, and will be probably the first bit of the derby. We'll see. Test fishing always can change things, but that's a good one. Gull's custom. Now, if we then start running those assassin spinners, what I really like to do is pair up those specifically with the Rocky Mountain Tackle Dodgers. Now, there's these new the Splatter Moonshine ones that came out for this year. This one is more of a watermelon type, and I have found you cannot go wrong on Chelan with watermelon. So I'm going to be running the Assassin Spinner paired up behind this 5.5 inch of the Moonshine Splatter, and really this thing is going to be deadly. Again, you can slightly bend the back to give it a little bit more kick from side to side and at the slower speeds, but this, you can just see that color is just pops. Cannot wait to get this on the water. Then when we go and look at something like the Wicked Lure, that thing will really work behind a mini multitude of Dodgers. So I'm probably going to just kind of play around because I really want to catch some fish on this one. But it is one of the mini shoehorn Dodgers that I made up from that challenge that Brandon Collier made over on Eastern Washington Fishing Page. So I have this UV glow shoehorn Dodger that I'm really excited to throw in the water, and I know with a Wicked behind it, it's definitely going to put some fish in the boat. So this will be fun to test with tomorrow, but really any Dodger will work with Wicked. I mean, any with these lures at all, but this is stuff that I like to use, specifically the style. You can see with this one, it has a lot deeper cup and a smaller front end, so this is really going to kick side to side and create some great action. So I have that Wicked spinner probably about 20 inches back, so that Dodger doesn't need to impart action on the lure itself. You already have that built in with the spinner blade, but it creates a great attraction, so this one's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Lastly then, for our Olympic Tackle Kokanee snack with that carnivore blade, I'm going for something that has a little bit deeper kick altogether. And the reason for that is because that deeper kick does impart a little bit of action at that probably 16-inch range. And so that's really something that this Dodger does very well. We're talking about the Barrett Special. You guys have seen me do a video upon that, and I will link everything below that I'm showcasing to you guys. And it is something that I have caught a lot of fish on, and some of my biggest fish. This happens to be a Moon Jelly Gold, and let me tell you, a combination of Moon Jelly and anything is usually really good, but Gold seems to really shine early in the mornings, sometimes on your overcast days, sometimes even just midday. I found that Gold really pairs well with Moon Jelly, so this is something that really should shine in the early mornings, but I want something that gives off enough of a kick that it causes that Olympic Tackle squid to just move like this, back and forth, as opposed to side, because it has the blade in front, it's going to be wiggling already, but as that Dodger does the wiggle like this, it's going to pull the leader forward and do this. So that fish comes up behind it, and all of a sudden it darts like that. It's an instant reaction bite, should trigger some fish. So that's really, guys, what I'm going to be running over the Chelan Derby. Of course, I have other stuff that, I collect tackle, so there'll be a lot of tinkering and stuff as we go, but I'm going to let the fish tell me what they want. But starting off with 4 different types of lures like we showed today really gives you a basis to start a pattern. And once you find that pattern, that's how you be successful, and hopefully you can win that derby. So look forward to seeing you guys if you're over there. Thank you so much for watching today. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe below, and if there's anything else you guys want to see in these kinds of Tank Test Thursdays, let me know. Always open to ideas. Love to do some more stuff. So thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you out on the water. Tight lines and fish on.